Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode, we built out this new area to bring in all the materials that we're going to need to build rockets and build satellites for said rockets. And so that is all done. Got the satellite production set up and then started our first rocket silo. As you can see, I have gone ahead and manufactured a second rocket silo and started working on hooking things up. I haven't hooked up the supplies to it just yet. Because I'm looking, I want to see what happens when I press this launch button before I hook everything up to continue work. Also, we're having some issues with production of stuff like, well, let's see, there's plenty of that stuff in here. The rocket control units are a bit of an issue. And that's because they weren't getting sufficient amounts of solder, and they weren't getting sufficient amounts of solder because the solder production wasn't getting sufficient amounts of tin, and we weren't getting sufficient amounts of tin because we weren't making sufficient amounts of carbon. And so I hopefully have resolved that issue. We'll see. And what I anticipate is going to be the next problem is coke. Again, we'll see. I might have to set up yet another coke production area, which is actually not that hard. I just need a coal deposit somewhere that I can use to make coke. And there's some candidates around. I've been doing some more exploring. Looking for any more large available areas of land. Up here looks pretty decent. Because if this does what I hope it does, I might need a further expansion of the base. I'll see. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to press this big old launch button. And see what happens. It has a satellite, and it will produce 1,000 space science. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and launch it. And there it goes. Our first rocket. Finish the game. Apparently. That finishes the game, and that does put 1,000 space science packs in the system. I set up a passive provider chest for that purpose. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is tell it to auto-launch with cargo. I'm going to go ahead and hook well, I don't know if I want to hook that up because I removed the modules. Primarily just kind of let it slowly absorb materials. How many of these do we have in here? 700 some? Alright. Send them. Alright. The issue is going to be those satellites. But I think I probably have enough satellites in the system for, well, a lot of launches. So I think that this buffer chest is irrelevant. The belt itself can actually hold enough of the satellites to sustain me for quite some time. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hook all of those up and tell you to auto-launch for cargo as well. I'm going to let those two run. If two of them are able to sustain and we're able to actually build up a little bit, then I'll throw some modules in there to speed it up. But right now, I need to make a bit of an adjustment. We need to head over to the area where we're making our science. Rocket silo stats. Sent items. Satellite 1. I have done some research. Astrometrics. Astrometrics lab. Interesting. Space construction. Space assembly. Assembly robot. Used in the dry dock assembly component. SpaceX Combinator. Combinator produces a signal carrying the required components to complete the phase of SpaceX you're currently on. Plus a signal representing the phase. I don't really know how that works. I might have to look into that and see if this is something I'm going to want to work on or not. I put it in, and I have been working on it, but we'll see. Alright, what I need to do over here first is we have this. This line here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that chest, put in a requester chest. There. And what we're going to request are space science packs at, well, as many as we can. And let's see, what could I potentially do here? Character inventory slots. So I have 1,000 on the way. And it shouldn't take that long. We're not far away from the spaceport. Not that far away. There they are. I was looking to see if I could find the bots. Snaking their way across the map. Yeah, rocket control units are out. Four through 10. So is this something that I can do? Yeah, I can do multiple times. Inventory slots 4. I can get up to, all the way up to 10, which means probably fill out this whole section down here, which would be great. Alright. Insert a stack capacity, worker robot cargo size, worker robot speed, which are infinitely repeatable. Okay. Character logistics slots, that also would be very nice to have. 10 through 20. So that is going to increase this section here, so I can request more things. And laser turret damage, infinite. Really? We can just infinitely repeat that. Worker robot speed is infinitely repeatable. Mining productivity is infinitely repeatable. So is crafting speed. Okay. Astrometrics needs 70,000 of them. That's 70 launches. Just for astrometrics. Oh my goodness. And this is going to need 1 million of them. So that means I'm going to need 1,000 launches to get the FTL drive. Okay. I am not sure I'm going to want to do that on screen. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But character inventory slots, that's an easy one we can keep going for. Yeah, I would definitely need to make an entire base, the entire production chain, to produce specifically the things we would need for launches. Top to bottom. Well, let's at least work through the things that are not repeatable. And this isn't going anywhere until we get some more rocket control modules. How many do we have? A few hundred? Alright, well, what I might have to do here is maybe end this episode as a bit of a short episode. Well, a lot of a short episode. Because there really isn't much else for me to do other than just wait. And I'm going to need to get out here and see if I want to go through the process of building a whole second base, top to bottom. I would need to find mines. produce the various acids I would need to get the mines to work. Build another ore purification system. Another foundry. All of that. I mean, the rocket fuel is fine. That's not a problem. Well, it's not a problem because we're not launching rockets fast enough to make it a problem. A whole nother electronics facility. Yep. Alright, well, what I'll go ahead and do is end this episode here. And think about what I want to do. And I'll make some decisions. And we shall see. The other option is I just go ahead and call this good. Here, we got our rocket launched. I can do all the research. But by this point, we are way behind on the actual game version. There have been several iterations of the game beyond this, because we're in like 1.6. I think we're several versions into 1.7 at this point. And funnily enough, this game is actually still in beta and scheduled for a full release, a gold release, later this year, if everything goes according to plan, which we'll see about that. So, I don't know. Guess I got some thinking to do on that front. But for now, we'll go ahead and stop here. We got our launch, we got our science going. We just need more stuff. Alright, so for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.